Hey, you guys. I know Amanda's jumping on. Hey, Hannah. Hey, Amy. I see Nicole, Stephanie. We were just coming from another training. So how are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Just sitting here.
Hey, Nicole. I like your top, Hannah. There's Amanda. Once you're in, I'm gonna mute myself again because I'm not sure how loud my background's gonna be.
Hey guys, how is everybody? Good?
Doing good.
Good. Did anybody implement anything from last week yet? No?
Well, Stephanie just closed out her first party.
That's
So
big.
we did it together. So it was like her, like she just signed up. You closed it out what, Sunday? Oh, you're muted right now. I don't know if you can unmute yourself.
Saturday night.
Yeah. So why don't you tell everybody how you did? They will be excited to hear.
Let's see. I think I was party came to about $832 maybe. I don't know the exact amount. But
Yeah. And that got you the egg cooker, and you've already earned the 2 baby cast iron skillets for this month.
I don't know. Did I get the cast iron skillets?
Yep,
Really?
the 2 little ones that are for this month. So you can still earn the 2 bigger ones with your sales, but you earn the 2 baby ones. I'll tag you in a picture later. It's on my to-do list. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know how this next one's going to go. This block party starts Wednesday, so I don't know.
Well,
we'll see.
always know that it goes whatever direction your mind says it's going to go.
Well, I think it'll be good. I've got, of course, it's my 3 daughters, and one of them hasn't even acknowledged that it's there. So,
Yes. So today's topic will be a good conversation then for them and for you. And
okay.
Bailey said, good. Hannah Hunt said, I had high hopes and had a family friend pass away unexpectedly and flipped your world. I'm so sorry, Hannah. And those things happen. And when it's time and it's good, you just got to get back on. So, but it might not be then. Nicole's got parties coming up. So woohoo. And Amy hasn't watched that one yet. Amy, trust us. That's the one you want to watch. It's really good. There's 2 of them. Either one's good. If you really want to knock it out of the park, get on both of them. So. Okay, so it is virtual party training number 2, and it's all about host coaching, okay, you guys? So just like last time, we're going to talk about 10 different principles that are important and how different, how we do it. Like home office does, there's not a right or a wrong way, but these are what the people, the general people that are having great success are doing, okay? So if you have something working for you, cool. But if you need some ideas, this is good. So first of all, host coaching begins at the time of booking, okay? So you want to work to build that relationship with your host. And most of the time with virtual parties, they're booked in quite close. So it's really easy to, like, hey, I got your party set up. Here, add people to your party. Do this, do that. I have kind of a script I follow. I'm a very black and white ABC kind of person. So I have a document that I follow along with my host coaching every time. And I change up the wording slightly, but not much because it's the same principles each time. But even if your party is 2 to 3 weeks out, it's still something like, oh my gosh, Chantelle, I'm looking so forward to your party. I can't wait. Did you get my book yet? Is there anything on your wish list? Those kinds of things, okay? Because you really, by the time that this party's over, you want them to be your best friend, right? That's how I feel about live parties, and that's how virtual parties should feel too. It should be like your long lost friends. So I got an itch. Someone's talking about me, guys. Okay. So phone call or a text to build the relationship. So when I found this, you guys, I rarely do a phone call for virtual parties, which I probably should do more, especially now, because I would just but then I think I'd probably chat that person's ear off. So probably I shouldn't. or a text. And if they're not responding on Messenger, move to text, because there's a lot of people that don't do Messenger on their phone. And so the week of their party, I just say, be sure that you're checking your Messenger every day. Some people do a pre-recorded video or even a voice message through Messenger, like, "Hi, Hannah, I'm so excited about your party. This is how it goes. I'll get it set up this day. I can't wait. Have you been thinking about who to invite? And we want to invite a lot of people," and that kind of thing. I don't do a video and or a voice message. I just type. But I know that Danielle does I think she does a voice message, and Chantelle was doing videos for a while. I don't think she is right now. There's not a right or wrong way, you guys. But if you feel like you're struggling making that connection with your host, do the video, do the other. I mean, I can just chat back and forth the whole time. And yeah, so, and then the week of the party, definitely send a message every single day, even those setup days, so they know what's going on, because chances are they haven't hosted a virtual party, or if they have, it wasn't with you, or if it was with you, they only did it 1 or 2 times, right? Like, you really, really have to explain them. I always currently my mom's hosting a party, which is hilarious. She wants the air fryer. I've decided I have to talk to every one of my hosts like it's my mom trying to post something on Facebook, okay? Because it's like, okay, so today I need you to do this. This is how you do this. There'll be some people that will be like, yep, I know how to do that. And some people will be like, thank God, because I had no idea what she was talking about, okay? So think of that when you're sending your messages, that you're explaining every detail of this party, the same as you would explain the details of going to someone's house, like, this is what we're making and this is what we're doing. Okay. And then we want to work towards $1,000 virtual party, right? Okay, so to get to that, you want to challenge your host to get 5 orders outside of Facebook, okay? And you can give them a message to send privately to get orders in. So I always give my host like the last day, I say, okay, now text this out to 5 people, or you can do it before or after for the people not on Facebook, but text this out. Hey, didn't know if you knew, but I'm having a Pampered Chef party. Here's the link. If you need anything, let me know. And I send that. And then I also do the same message at the end of the party for, like, I say, oh, just a reminder, my party closes tonight. Here's the link. Even if they send that to 10 people, you guys, and I always tell them to send it to the most active people. But that's like, it'll be bing, 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 bing orders when they do that. And most of their friends are like, thank you. I would have forgotten, right? Is anybody actively doing that step? It is like, yeah. And I actually had a host send those messages, but she only did a few people because she didn't want people to feel like they had to buy. And I had one of her friends, and she would message me and she's like, I forgot to order. Can I still order? Nobody reminded me. I'm like, well, we did on the Facebook page, but her friend hadn't sent her a message. So that always gives me like permission to, yep, remind them, okay? Everyone good? It's hard when you're all muted because I feel like I'm talking at myself. Chantelle's got some stuff in the chat. Virtual videos, and do you have them send a, hey, I'm having a party? Yes, okay. So I'm kind of out of order here, but yeah, how do you, to send them? Yes, so I encourage them in my host coaching to add 250 people to the group. And you can see how they've invited them. It depends on if you're on your phone or your computer, but either way, there's like an invited. So if there's only 15 people in the group and you click invited and there's only 30 people in there, you say to them, okay, you haven't done enough. We need to add more people to your group, okay? This is how you do that. So, and then they can add there. And then a lot of my hosts, I'll have them post like, hey, I'm having a Pampered Chef party. My consultant Amanda is really fun. If you'd like to be added to the group, here's the link. And I have them put that on their main Facebook page. And then I also do a message that says, hey, I'm having a Pampered Chef party. I invited you, but sometimes you don't get the notification from Facebook. Here's the link to join the group if you would like to. And I have a message that out to people. And you guys, that's legit how the Facebook algorithm works. Some of those people see them get added right away, and some of them people see that 5 or 6 days later. It's crazy. Facebook is very tricky. So yeah, so definitely, what if the host isn't wanting to message? That's always a hard one because we always have difficult hosts, right? So I just tell them, so my best $1,000 parties send this message to at least 15 people. And if they've already added a ton of people, it won't be a problem. But if they've only added 10 people and they don't want to do the messages, you're going to know that's going to be your dud party for the week, which again is why we run 4 parties at a time, right? But sometimes they need your confidence in saying, nope, this is how I do it, right? That's, I mean, if you say, nope, this is how we do it, this is how virtual parties run, right? Then it's a lot different. Where if you're like, oh, well, that's okay. I mean, it'll be fine, I guess. You know, you just need to say, nope, this is how we do it, okay? You're all like, oh, she sounds bossy. And that's okay, you guys. You have to just be confident in it. And Chantelle said she has her host send it to everyone. And then this must be the, like, I'm closing party. Yeah, she jumped from $80 to $1,400 when she did it. It works. I had one go from $0 to $800 the other night. It's crazy. And so what if the host continuously says she will try to add more people but never does? Yet she does know how to invite them because, so Ashley, again, they're going to be your dud. And that's why we say the 4 parties at a time. If they're not participating, their party's not going to be well. And that's part of my very first host coaching too. Like, this is how you have a successful party. You're going to invite X amount of people. You need to be involved in the call, you know, all these host coaching tips too, that like what to say and all those kinds of things are also on Dash, you guys. So, okay. I lost my train of thought totally here. Okay, yes. Hosts should participate daily and not hide in a corner. And you guys, you'll know right off that you'll know day 1 or 2 if they're going to be in the corner or not, okay? And I keep posting in those parties, but that, again, that's why you run the 4, right? And then maybe by day 3 of the party, they might actually kind of get into it and then participate. So, and I just, you know, today I have a host that I've probably messaged him 8 times. Oh my gosh, you still only have 16 people in your party. I see that you haven't added any more since last night. Is there something that's holding you back from adding more? And he said no, he would get on it. So we'll see. But I just continuously say the same thing. Yep, Stephanie?
You said send if to put the Facebook link on the hostess personal page. So getting that Facebook link, how would I just go back up in the
Are you mobile or are you on a computer?
either?
I can send screenshots
Yeah, just show
because it's
Chantelle.
it'll look different on one versus the other. So
Yep.
yeah.
So on your phone,
Okay.
you got to go to the administrator calls, you guys, and get the link. And on your laptop, you just copy the top bar. So, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, Chantelle will show us how to do that. So that'll be
Okay.
good. But yeah, that's super helpful to get the link to the party. And then, you know, when you do the reminder one, you do the ordering link. Okay. Okay. Encourage your host to go live or share pics of their favorite product. You guys, this is huge. If you can get them to go live, the way that the Facebook algorithm works, their friends will see this stuff more and it will be better. Plus, it's fun. Their friends see that they're having fun. It's good. And if nothing else, I'm like, share your favorite products. Pull them out of your kitchen drawers. You don't even have to make anything, you know? Snap a picture on your phone and post it to the group. So, yeah, Stephanie, you're good.
Yeah, that's what I did today. I made a video of all my Pampered Chef stuff, and I encouraged them to take a picture with theirs and go live or just take a picture. So yeah. So we'll see.
Some of them are super into it. There's people that have been collecting stones since 1980, you guys. They're just like so pleased to be able to show people that they have been. So
Well, I didn't bring all my stones out, but I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm
you're
sorry.
okay. And
I just did
Nicole,
a show, and my daughter went to her utensil drawer, and I mean everything was in there, and she's just pulling different things out because
Yeah.
there's a mixture of everything in there. This is my pampered chef. I love this. I love this, and she got a lot of comments on that one.
she
That
did,
doing it
yeah.
live like that, yeah.
Yep, and that's the whole point of the Facebook parties, you guys. We want them to be busy and things like that. And then Nicole asked, do you have specific things you have the host post? Yes, I do. So a lot of them are engagement posts because I want their friends to be on her post having fun and then see my post. Each of the directors on here probably has kind of a host coaching system that they share with their team. Like my team has one that's just pinned that they can copy. There's not a right or wrong. Like today, my host all posted a picture of a crazy woman with her kitchen on fire, and they say, "What's the craziest kitchen disaster that you had?" One of them's, "What's on your wish list? What should I put on my wish list?" Another one is the other one that's I can't think of the other one. I lost my brain. Sorry. I'll post it when I think of it. It'll be on Wednesday. So it doesn't matter though. Like the posts do not matter. They don't have to be perfect. I mean, you could just have them post their favorite Pampered Chef item every day. Have 5 new Pampered Chef items. So, the other thing is to ask your host 5 times to join. And Chantel's hopefully gonna find this image and post it for me too. So there's an image to follow on how to ask them. So when I'm setting up the party, I'm like, "Hey Hannah," you're right in the center of my screen. I'm sorry, I'm picking on you. I'm like, "Hey Hannah, before I get this set up, did you want this to be your grand opening party? We could get you signed up and get you started." And then you would be like, "Nope, I'm good." So then the next time, like your guests would be commenting and getting excited, I'd be like, "We don't have any orders yet. It's still time to make this your party, right?" And then if you're still no, then the next time's like, "Oh my gosh, you have some orders. Did you know that you can use part of your kit credit to get this started?" And then I ask again. And then at the very end, I say, 4 of your friends booked parties, those could be yours if you got started. Have you thought about doing like this? And you guys, one of the newer gals on my team, I was on ask number 3 of that. And I sent an email through my website and said, "Please text me if you have more questions." And she actually joined from that text. So that would have been like my 4th ask. And the 3 up to that, she's like, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Right. So it's always in that ask because they have to picture themselves doing that. And it's really easy to ask via text. So Chantelle will have some cute words on how to ask that. Okay. And then before the party, you really want to focus on getting that attendance up. So every single day I say something like, "Oh my gosh, you're up to this amount of people. This is exciting." And, you welcome those people. And I give away a prize at the beginning of the party if they get 50 people added to the group. Like if 50 people join before the party starts, I give away a prize right then. And I tell the people in there, "Oh my gosh, we're almost at 50 people. We get 5 more members or 10 more members, and I'm going to give away my first prize." Because then they're going to invite their mom or their sister or whoever that maybe you're not connected to also. I'm going to look at the chat quick here. Yes. Nicole, I don't know whose team Nicole's on. Nicole, put in the chat whose team you're on. What do I give away? I do a lot of different, I always think they're dumb, but people like them. I give away pan scrapers. They mail an envelope for just a stamp. And then the other thing I do is cutting boards, and they fit in these nice and flat. So I buy the 3-pack of cutting boards on a show under my name, so I make commission. Or under an order, whatever. Separate them apart. That's one of my prizes. And then when I give that away, like Hannah, you want a prize at my party? Can I stick some catalogs in for this, and then Monica will get credit for it? It's a very easy way to do things. And then this is kind of a two-part thing. So you change your party at the end, that it's like 2 more days till the end of the party, 1 more day, last day to order. But in your group chat, which is another thing, in your group chat to your hosts, so do you guys know what I'm talking about? So you know, if you have 4 parties, they're all in one little chat and you're talking to them. You're doing things individually to them every night. Oh my gosh, Hannah, your party's at 700. Monica, we only have 1 order on your party, but we don't have very many people. Please add some more people to your party. But then in the host chat group, you're saying, okay, everyone, today you post, you know, what's your favorite kitchen disaster or whatever. So you do that. And then in that host group, you're going to put 2 days left of your party, 1 day left of your party in there too. So you can change the name of the group. And that's that helps them too, because you know, the world kind of flies by. Even though we're all home, I still feel like it's flying by. Robin, I'm pretty sure, or Nicole, I read Robin. I'm pretty sure Nancy Francis has a host coaching system that she can share too. Okay, and then the host coaching groups, just so you all know, like, did that all make sense to you? I kind of pulled that into the last part too. It made sense, okay, sweet. Questions? Chantelle, anything you think I missed or didn't explain well?
Okay, now I'm unmuted. So I did post both things in the event. So the questions you guys are asking, it will only let me tag you if I'm already friends with you. So just go back to the event to see it too. So no, I think you covered a lot of it. And we're doing really good on time. So we have time for questions. I forgot to do an introduction when we started, so sorry about that.
I'm sorry. Here, I'll introduce myself quick, you guys. I'm Amanda Joe, and I'm from Troy Mills, Iowa. I live on a farm. So I'm pretty much social distanced in life anyways. So, I mean, other than I'm not supposed to go to the store or go work out, then this is kind of my normal life. So my kids are home, of course, which is different. But I've been with Pampered Chef for 11 years. I'm part of the Macmillan organization. What else should I tell them, Chantelle? I don't know.
How many trips?
I'm so spoiled I can't keep track anymore. But you guys, the trips is like my #1 carrot in this business besides the paycheck, okay? If you haven't traveled yet with Pampered Chef, it is the best way to travel. And if you have a husband that's like nervous about travel, anybody have one of them? No? Well, that's good. But mine was, and he wouldn't like want to spend any money to travel or do anything. And they literally take care of everything. So one of our earlier on trips, they lost our luggage on the way there. And he was like freaking out, and we were in a different country, and we finally got our luggage, like, and then we went through customs, and Pampered Chef was like asking people as they came by, are you the Krogmanns? Are you the Krogmanns? Because they couldn't find us because we didn't get off at the right time because we had lost our luggage, you know? And he was just like, wow, they like are on top of this. And so ever since then, it's like full trust. So yeah, trips are amazing. If you've never worked towards an Excellence Awards, those are fun, you guys. If you don't know what that is, definitely check with your director. If you've never been to conference, go to conference. I know it could look different this year, but if we get to go. It is business changing. So yeah. And then the best part
we'll do it virtually, just like we
Yeah.
did today's virtually.
Yeah. And if you've never if you've never got to go to something with Pampered Chef or retreat or even a team meeting, maybe your team meetings are all virtual. Eventually, when you get to meet in person, like these friendships are the best part of this. Okay. So if there's somebody on here that you're like is asking questions and you're like, wow, that's exactly, her brain thinks just like mine, message them. You guys are all on that same event together, so you can message each other and reach out. That's Chantelle and I, that's how, yeah, we kind of got shoved together like by two people that thought that we were similar, and they were right. And yeah,
We talk
it's
almost
good.
every day.
We do.
Yeah. So any questions, you guys, because we have time to open it up for questions. And then as Amanda Joe was talking, one of the things I was thinking is I've always taught my team for the cooking show world, it doesn't matter if it's your very first party or your 1000th party, when you put that apron on, you're the expert in the room by everybody. So I think with the virtual parties, you really want to think of that virtual apron. It doesn't matter if it's your very first party and you just signed up that day, you're still the expert to everybody that's invited to that show. And so taking that and giving yourself the permission to be confident about host coaching people to a successful party, because they never book a party with you hoping that it does terrible. They're not saying, hey, let's do this, you know, I really don't want anything for free, and I don't want it to be successful, and I hope nobody orders. Like that's not why they booked the party. So you want to think of your host coaching like you're putting on that virtual apron as being you're the expert in the room. Even if you're brand new, it doesn't matter. Paper Jeff has a lot of those images. What somebody was asking in the chat, like, what do you send your host? If you go under the marketing image, there's a lot of different images you can pull and just send to your host. It doesn't matter if it's the same one Amanda Joe does or I do. It's just to get the host interacting on the party every day and getting that party to feel like she's participating. So it could be literally anything. But just think of yourself as the expert of guiding her to a successful party. So I have a lot of hosts at the beginning who say like, oh, I've had parties before in the past and they weren't good. And I always say, well, were they pampered chef? And it's almost always no. Or was it with me? And it's almost always no. Because if you treat yourself like the expert, then you want to work towards them to have a good party. And that doesn't mean I don't have shows that are under 200. I do, but I know that those hosts aren't following every tip I laid out for them, because every host that follows every tip has a successful party. So think of it that way, instead of worrying about, well, I don't want to be pushy, or I don't want to tell her how many people, you know, to invite. Who here's ever had a host go, oh, I don't think I know that many people? I had that happen 3 times today. So what's your comeback to that? Anyone have an answer to that question? Go for it.
I always tell them to invite their friends, family, coworkers, everybody.
Yeah.
I tell them men and women and people they don't know very well, because sometimes those are the people that end up ordering on the party.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't
I'm
matter
getting
what. Yeah. What do you say anything to them, Stephanie?
Yeah, I was just going to say, one of my daughters has given me permission to invite people from, for Facebook. And so I'm going to go in there and invite a few more. So, yeah. And a lot of her friends are guys. And of course, you never know. I mean, if they're out on their own, they might need something in their kitchen. They cook too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm wrapping up a fundraiser today that goes for a local firehouse, and a lot of firemen and women cook because they're there for however long their shift is, and they don't leave to go get fast food. Like, they cook in the kitchen there. So there were a lot of guys on that party. So yeah. I usually take a quick peek at their Facebook page just to make sure they have over 200 friends, because if they have under 200 friends, I may shift the numbers slightly, just to like, hey, let's really work towards that 35 to 45 going, instead of pushing inviting 300 to 400, because they don't have that many friends. But most of the hosts that tell me like, oh my gosh, I don't think I know that many people, have like 600, 700, 800, 1,000 friends on Facebook. So they're just nervous about who to invite. And then my response is, well, that's the whole point of a virtual party, because you, like Amy was saying, you invite everyone eats, and it doesn't matter where they live. We can ship anywhere in the US. And you don't want one of your friends to say, oh my gosh, I didn't even know you had a party, I would have joined in. So you always want to phrase it that way. Like, people are worried about being pushy, but on the other hand, how would you feel if one of your friends was like, you didn't invite me, why not? That's worse, isn't it? Than being like, oh, I invited her and she said not right now. So just keep that in mind. You want to give that host permission to invite more people. And I would say 99% of the time than they do. That really helps quite a bit. So any other questions?
Go for it.
I have one. It's off topic, but I went to YouTube to find a video, and I guess when you copy that that link onto the group page, it just comes up with the link, of course. But then when you touch on it, you know, if our guests were to touch on it, it takes them back to YouTube. Is that right?
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that it would just come up on the group page.
I think it depends on their Facebook settings, not yours.
Mm-hmm. And I think if you share it from Pampered Chef's website, so like you're on marketing imagery and you share that video there, then that will be embedded and share it and not go to YouTube.
Yeah, Chantelle was telling me that I have to download it to my computer for it to, because when I put them up there, all you're getting is like the link.
Yeah, I share them all from YouTube and I don't have a problem with that. I just make sure I'm pulling off of Pampered Chef's corporate YouTube page when I do that. My friend Danielle, who does this call with us, embeds them all from her computer and re-uploads them. But I do almost all of my parties from my phone, and I know Amanda, Joe, and Danielle do almost everything from a computer. So that would be one of the differences too. Like some things are going to look different on a phone, some things are going to look different on a computer. So those are the type of things that it's not right or wrong how you do it, just you kind of have to know your way around what device you're using and just stick with one method so you're not confusing yourself, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you use the Pampered Chef YouTube.
I use the YouTube link because I don't have all those videos downloaded in my phone. And I do almost all my posting from my phone and all of my everything off my phone. So
okay, cool. All right.
Another thought that I didn't explain in detail, you know, the message you send at the end of the party that says, you know, here it's the last day to, you have them send to their friends, here it's the last day to order, here's the link in case you wanted anything. I also tell them up front, a lot of times orders don't come in right away, especially like, you know, I update them with sales every single night. And I'm like, oh, it's okay though. Most orders come in the last day. And then I'll even have a message for you to send that last day. So that way they're like building up to that all week. So it doesn't feel pushy. Like you've already set this expectation that they're going to send that message to get those orders in.
So a daily message.
Yeah. Yep. That way they just don't know how it goes. And so you have to just kind of set that roadmap for them, you know?
Right.
What other questions do you guys have?
I have some questions. This is Kathleen Lawrie, nickname's Kat, and
Hi,
my
Kat.
director is Nancy Francis.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for taking your time tonight, and this has been so wonderful, very exciting.
Good.
I'm new. I just started in November, and you know, the holidays, it was kind of tough, and then I got sick after the holidays, so it's kind of been a little bit of a slow start, but I'm real excited. So the first question I had probably has nothing to do with a lot of what you talked about tonight, but I did just have this question for someone to answer is, if someone has a fundraiser, because they're real big right now, like just say I host a fundraiser, do I get the hostess gifts then or no? Like the hostess rewards?
So there's no host rewards with a fundraiser.
Okay.
So there's the free and the half price are gone. They do offer the fundraiser coordinator, whatever the host special is that month. So the 60% off item, they're allowed to get that.
Okay. That was one thing.
Yep. So instead of free and discounted, fundraisers up to 600 will get 10% of the sales, and then fundraisers up to 15 or up from 600 up get 15% of the sales, but then that's doubled right now with the, if it's a Feeding America fundraiser.
But who's ever coordinating it gets the host
Special. So this month it would be the quick cooker or the, help me out.
the blender, the cooking
The blender,
blender.
thank you. I'm like, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be what they would get. So yeah, that's kind of their reward for doing it.
And I missed maybe what you might have said at the beginning, and I apologize if in advance if that's the case. I had a hard time getting on tonight. I don't know why, but you do the block parties, you do 4 together. Do you have them all in one group? No, you keep yours separate.
I do not do block parties, yes. And again, all of this is there's not a right or wrong. It doesn't matter. So if block parties work for you, that's good. They don't work for me. But what was your separate thing?
No, I was glad to hear you say that you kept them separate, because most of the people that I've talked to when I've talked about a block party, they seem to want to keep theirs separate. And that's how I've been doing it, is just keeping them separate.
Yeah, that's good.
I
So
think,
host coach.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You were probably going to say the same thing.
So yeah, so do the party separate, but you can host coach them together.
Okay.
That way you're only sending one message. You're still sending messages outside of that, but the majority of it's done through one message. So that saves you some time there. And you can make a contest even with your hosts in that kind of group. I'm not a contesty kind of person, you guys, so that's not something I do. But I do know that a lot of successful virtual people are like, oh my gosh, so-and-so's party's bigger than this party right now, or, who's going to get the next order.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to add. Like, I do what Amanda Joe does. I run parties as separate parties. We talked a lot on the first call about running a minimum of 4 a week. So that might be where you heard that number 4. Stephanie is doing a block party next week with her daughters, but it's all 3 of her daughters hosting with separate ordering links. But it just made sense to have them all in one group, in a way bigger group, than to run 3 separate for all 3 of her girls in the week. So there might be times where that's a better fit for you than others too. So she is doing that this week. And then I do the group host coaching message as well. So that does help. And I think one thing we didn't talk a ton about with the host coaching, where I don't do a lot of competition on the sales. Like, I try to keep that a little more private, because I don't want the host with like the $200 show and then a host in the same group that had like an $1,800 show. I don't want one to feel way better or way worse about themselves. But I think that group host coaching message is a good place to push bookings, because that's like a good way to get friendly competition. Like on Wednesday or Thursday, say, okay, now one of your goals today is to help secure 3 bookings. And I think we talked maybe last week, or I don't know, this time, about like Amanda Joe will offer a challenge of, if you get these 3 bookings before we close your party, I'll give you this as a freebie on the 3rd party. So you're not giving it away that day. You're waiting until their friends' parties hold. But that's like I think a fair way to do a competition, because even if you only had a small $200 party, you can still get 3 bookings. And sometimes the big parties struggle more to get the bookings because everybody's ordering. So that's kind of fun when like one girl will post in that group message and say, oh, well, I already got 2 people booked off of mine. I'm working on my 3rd. It kind of creates that like friendly competition, and we need the bookings. That's a big part of the host coaching too. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. My other question was just about, getting the bookings from the parties, and maybe you discussed that already and I missed it, but that was a big question I had. And I also had a question about bookings, like say someone's parties ended and a person that ordered, say Mary had a party and Sally ordered, and then right after that, after the party closed, Sally decides to have a party. Does Mary still get the 50% future host?
So you have to assign currently, like if let's say Hannah had the party, Kathleen, you booked the party, Hannah goes to the party, we've connected that as a booking. Currently, our system does not recognize the difference right now of whose party was connected to who. So currently, yes, that will work. Eventually, that link will make sense. And then the bookings we're really not talking about bookings until next week.
Okay.
So that's call number 3. So you'll want to be on either 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Central next week, or 8 p.m. or 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern next week, or 8 p.m., 9 p.m. in the evening. And it will be all about bookings. So
super.
Yeah. Candace asked if you're trying to get people invited when the host doesn't have any Facebook friends, with their friends. Yeah, that's my goal of that whole, like, if we get to 50 people, I'm going to give away my first prize. It's not for the host to get her people added. It's for their friends to add their people, right? And I do like drop your name below when you've added someone, because they, then you'll get more entries into the drawing too, you know? Okay, I want to recap them before we run out of time, but we can stay on for questions too. So just host coaching with confidence, right? Like Chantelle said, you know more about host coaching than any of them, whether you're new or not, okay? So it begins at the time of booking, and you want to focus on building that relationship. And you guys, that can be like, tell me about your life. What's your job like? What's your kids like? You know, this is how your party's going to go. This is the things I do. So then they know what to expect. Phone calls or a text to build that relationship, the pre-recorded video or even a voice message. You can hold the phone down, do the voice message. Send a message every day to your host. So don't just ignore them one day on your party. That's not good. And you guys, it can even be like, oh my gosh, your friend Lindsay commented, blah, blah, blah. You have to add something to that. That's so funny, or, you know. Tips to get to $1,000 show is to challenge your host to get 5 orders outside of Facebook. Most of us have 5 friends that aren't on Facebook. It kind of actually makes me crazy, because it'd be easier if they're on Facebook. But give them a message to send privately to get the orders in with that, and encourage them at the end of the party to send a message as a reminder, like last day to order. And then hosts should participate every single day. So that's why you're sending them a message to post. And you want to like, oh my gosh, don't forget to comment on your friends' posts and things like that. Encourage your host to go live or to share pictures of their favorite products. And then you're going to ask the host to join 5 times, and that's going to be posted. And you guys, if you truly, truly do the 5 times of asking, you'll be surprised how many people are added to your team. Does anybody on here say yes the first time they were asked?
No.
I was like a number 4 kind of question person. Okay. And then before the party, be sure they focus on getting attendance up. Make sure that you remind them every day, you know, and I say, you know, oh my gosh, we added 10 more people today, and, you know, fun, make it all fun, right? And then of course, give a prize if you have a certain number you're trying to hit. And you guys, 50 is really kind of that magic number on a virtual party. I mean, more than that is amazing, but 50 is like where the good stuff happens. Wouldn't you agree, Chantelle? Yeah, 50 is like, which means they have to add at least 200 or 300 people or message directly. So, and then you want to change the party at the very end, like 2 days left of the party, and you want to change your host coach chat to that too. And then host coaching in groups. Denise joined on the first ask. I feel like Denise must have been looking for something then. She's on my team. She's actually on Kenneth's team, but she's under. So yeah. So there are going to be people that join on the first ask, but generally they've thought about some sort of extra income.
I was close. Like I talked to her after the show, but I signed from that first show. So
yeah, that's funny. I told the girl no. And then I told her I was only doing this for the kit. Has anyone had someone tell them that? That was me. Just doing it for the kit, you guys. Okay, what other host coaching questions? Do you guys feel like you have a little more confidence now? Like, okay, I got this. Good.
I do have a question. I know it's not for host coaching, because I'm trying to close out a party, and like this girl did not order from my daughter's party. I had 2 people that didn't order from her party, but they booked parties. So how is she going to get her 50% gift?
So you add them as a guest still and mark them as a booking. You just don't put an order in under their name.
Okay, so I didn't do that, and her party is closed. So can I go
Closed.
back? You
No,
can't go
but
back.
it'll be okay, because when your daughter gets added to their party, it will automatically pop up and ask you if she wants that. That's what I was saying about it's not linked right now.
But I did that because I just put my daughter in as I was listening, still listening to the call. So I went over and looked, and because she says, Mom, there's no place for me to get my 50% off.
Okay, so the party,
Yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
the party has to hit $200 first in commissionable sales.
That's why it didn't. Yeah,
And
because
she can't add it. You have to add it so that people don't cheat the system.
that's good. Because, well, not good, but I mean, now that I know that, because this party is my first club party. I've never had a party like this.
Yeah. So it has
Over-
to hit 200 because otherwise you could end up with a party without making commission, which would be awful.
Yes, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. So
okay.
yeah, that's why.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yeah.
My name's Nomi. I'm in Massachusetts and I'm on Bridget Cloth's team.
Awesome.
I just closed a party and one of the guests, I noticed on hers that she was a past host. She lives out of state and I don't know her, but she had, the 50% off, which I didn't offer to her because I didn't know whose party it was from.
Correct.
Okay.
You only apply it if it came from one of your bookings, you guys.
Okay.
So it's only so even though Hannah hosted a party with me, but then Monica hosted with Chantelle and you booked from Monica, Hannah doesn't get the 50% off.
Okay.
Because she hosted with me, it's not one of her bookings.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, good job. Because a lot of people get really hung up on that and it's not a very clear thing in the company.
And there's a reason for that too. So sometimes I see, and again, if your team does it differently, like obviously there's different ways to do things too. But the booking benefit is a tool for you to use to get bookings and to give your host an incentive to help you get bookings. So if we give them away when they didn't legitimately get the booking, it's like shooting yourself in the foot. Because you'd be amazed what people will buy whether they have a half price item or not. I just had a situation today where she'd already ordered the cast iron skillets half price and she full price, and she legitimately booked off this other girl. So I had to message her and be like, hey, you do have a half price item, we can add something to your order if you want. And she's like, oh, can I just make that cast iron pan half price? And she could, but you don't want to just give it away like you were saying, because it pops up that they were past hosts, but they weren't actually booked from that party, because you're hurting yourself. You're hurting kind of just how the system works. Same thing if the host doesn't use all her rewards. Those are her rewards for the effort she did. So if she decides to gift them to her mom, that's fine. That's totally fine. But I don't then go on Facebook like, hey, I have half price items to give away, because anyone can host a successful Pampered Chef party and get those same half price items. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you did awesome, Amanda. We think we covered all kinds of stuff. I hope you guys all learned at least a couple of things new, and then we will be back here, like Amanda said, same time. We're running on Central and Eastern, so if Facebook's being not, it used to change it based on the time zone you were in, but it didn't look like it was doing that today. So I know some people are on at the wrong time, but
and Zoom is different now because of all these hackers. So if you're clicking the link, you should be able to click in just fine when I join. If you're typing in the code, there's also a password now. Okay. So, and if you get hung up, always type it over there and we'll try to get you in. So yeah. Thank you guys for joining us though. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.